Now, during my sailing days, I worked on different type of ships, and today I want to talk about an interesting fact about ships. How do you stop a ship? Now, ships don't have brakes or they don't have wheels like a car or a bike would have. So you just can't stop a ship. Uh, and when I was at sea, I worked on different type of ships, oil tankers, commodity ships, container ships, ships of different sizes, large ships and small ships. And stopping a ship used to be a very interesting maneuver out at sea. So I want to talk about how do you really stop a ship. And before talk about that, I want to talk about how does a ship move ahead. So typically, a ship has a propeller which rotates in the rear part of the ship or the after region of the ship, and it turns, and that actually propels the ship ahead. And this propeller turns because of the main engine. So the main engine is connected to the propeller through a series of linkages. And when the main engine runs, it turns the propeller and the ship moves ahead. Now, in order to stop a ship at sea, what you need to do is you need to stop the main engine, which means that you need to cut off the fuel supply of the main engine. Now, the interesting thing which happens is that when you cut off the fuel supply of the main engine, while the main engine might come to a stop, but the propeller keeps on turning or rotating because of the momentum in water. So the ship actually continues to move ahead, and eventually the propeller stops turning, it comes to a rest. But the ship would have traveled certain distance from the time you cut off the fuel supply till it actually comes to a stop. And this is known as the stopping distance. And each ship has a unique stopping distance. And this distance could be 1 nautical mile, 2 nautical mile, 3 nautical miles, even, which means that from the time you cut off the fuel supply till the time ship stops, it would have covered a distance of anywhere between 1 to 3 nautical miles. And as captain, one of my core jobs was to really understand the stopping distance very well. Because if I didn't know this very well, and I try to stop the ship, it might sort of overshoot. It may not stop where I'm supposed to stop the ship. So knowing the stopping distance, when to cut off the fuel supply, and when it will eventually stop was very important for me while maneuvering the ship. Now, why am I talking about this today? Because stopping distance is a very important concept if you apply in case of leadership. Now, as a leader, you may be great in starting new things, running new initiatives, pushing things forward. But a great leader also knows when to stop, when to exercise restraint, when to draw a line. When things are not going your way, when you are gaining a lot of resistance, you don't have enough buy-in, when you need more time. So you should know when to stop. Now, stopping does not mean that you're quitting or giving up. Stopping simply means you are buying time to either reflect or introspect or refresh or even rethinking about your strategy, rethinking about going in a different direction, whatever the case may be, but you're taking time out. And the key thing for a leader is two things, right? One is being aware of the need to stop, when to stop, really, right? So that's the question of self-awareness as a leader, and then actually taking action how to stop whatever you're doing so that you buy that time. So starting something new is great, but knowing when to stop is equally important. And if you extrapolate this concept in your personal life, I think in a lot of areas we are good at starting things, but I think we should also know when to stop, when to exercise restraint. So I hope you like this analogy, and I'm going to stop now, but I'm going to leave you with some reflection and go back and think what are some of the things which you are good in starting, but you're not good at stopping? What are some of the areas in your life where you are not able to exercise restraint? And in those areas where you're not able to stop or you're not able to exercise restraint, what is the impact it is having on you and people around you? And if you need to get in touch with me, do message me and do leave your feedback in the comment sections. And I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.